Now, the next one is the water sharing. Water sharing issues with Bangladesh or water sharing issues between India and Bangladesh. A couple of questions immediately. Let me just pick up one question. Some people are asking is how the Shahbaz Square movement related to India. I already said. What is the condition of Hifazat-e-Islam group now? It is still there. See, the radicals are there everywhere. Radicals are still there, but Sheikh Hasina is a very strong nationalist and a secular leader. So, she is not giving enough space for them to grow, and many of these Jamaat-e-Islami leaders have already been executed now under that ICT and all. So, their strength has come down dramatically right now, we can say that way, but still radicals are radicals. Even if they are only 1%, 2%, they will behave and look like 20%. So, that is the problem with them anyway. And another question, Bangladesh is the most densely populated country in the world. Yes, in future there shall hardly be any land left to accommodate people. What will happen then? Will they again see, even already the illegal entry and all, see, people will migrate illegally and all if there is a difference in the development. If Bangladesh grows better than India, people will not migrate to India. Indians will illegally migrate to Bangladesh now. See, we have already seen, I do not know whether you have read in the newspaper recently that Bangladesh per capita income will be they will overtake India. Their economy will overtake India. If Bangladesh overtakes, if the Bangladesh economy overtakes India, what will happen? Indians will be doing the reverse migration. We will be illegally migrating to Bangladesh and all. So, it is not going to be, don't think that Bangladesh will continue to be very poor and all. The economic growth is happening in Bangladesh in a big way. Bangladeshis are very capable people. They are smart people. They are definitely, I said, culturally, they are very strong. They are, even intellectually they are quite strong. Please do not underestimate them. Please do not underestimate them, and if if the economic progress continues the way they are progressing right now, they will easily overtake India's per capita income, and Indian, their economic growth will be faster and better, and the per capita income in Bangladesh will easily go up. They may overtake India. So, do not underestimate that whether Bangladeshis will migrate to India, do not ask this question. Indians will be illegally migrating to Bangladesh then. That scenario cannot be ruled out anyway. So, anyway, when coming back to our discussion, the water sharing issues with Bangladesh. So, one issue, one last question before I will start with the water sharing. Archie is asking, democracy is also ultimately the rule of people, and the government across the world today is government popular choice, and majority people are following in their country. People following in the country. So, could it not be mobocracy? When I use the term mobocracy, तुम तो बहुत emotional हो गया उसमें. Mob justice. चार लोग जंक्शन में खड़ा होके बोलेंगे ये सही है. That is called mobocracy. People supporting and through an electoral process and implementing the rule of law, implementing the law of the land, if it is protected, that is not mobocracy, that is democracy. Mobocracy means some unruly elements shouting and trying to implement instant justice. Public demanding somebody's death sentence cannot be the reason for giving death sentence to a person. It should be based on evidence, it should be based on rule, regulation. That is the meaning of mob. Please read about mobocracy. In India also, mob lynching. If a group of people are catching somebody and say they are child lifters and executing them, beating and killing them publicly, that is mobocracy. That is not we want. We want they should be tried. If they are actual child lifters, if they are accused of lifting children or rather stealing children, their trial should be there, evidence should be there, the judiciary, the judges should punish them, not the public. If the public is trying to hand over justice, then it is mobocracy. Please do not confuse. Okay, I hope you understood what I am trying to say. Coming to the water sharing issues, the first issue between India and is the Ganga water sharing issue. Then we have this Teesta water sharing issue, and also there is a third issue between India and Bangladesh, that is known as the Tipaimukh Dam issue. So, three issues between India and Bangladesh. Now, coming to the first issue, just see this, Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is the delta of Ganga and Brahmaputra, you know very well, and you see this Ganga from Munger, Bhagalpur, it is flowing, and it becomes a boundary between India and Bangladesh for some time, and then entering into many branches. And Jamuna, see this Ganga, when it enters into Bangladesh, it is known as Padma. In Bengal, the name of Ganga is Padma. Then Brahmaputra river, it is flowing through to Assam, and when it enters into Bangladesh, it is known as Jamuna. Okay, Brahmaputra is known as Jamuna. This Ganga, Padma and Jamuna meets, and the joint stream is also known as Padma initially. The joint stream is Padma, and subsequently this joint stream, when it meets with Meghna, then it is known as the joint stream is finally entering into the Bay of Bengal as Meghna. So, Ganga, then Padma, Jamuna, again Padma, please do not forget, Padma and Meghna joins together, and ultimately the joint stream of Padma and Jamuna and Meghna all put together, when it is entering, you can see the delta, you can see thousands of streams entering into the ocean, here, thousands of them. These are all branches, distributaries. So, these are all the distributaries of Ganga and Brahmaputra and Meghna and all those rivers. And in fact, if you look at this river Ganga and Padma in Bengal, so the moment the river enters into Bengal, okay, the moment the river enters into Bengal, the first distributary, the westernmost distributary, it branches out because too much of water, too many branches. The westernmost distributary is Hooghly. Hooghly is passing like this. You can see through Kolkata. The first distributary is Hooghly, and the river is flowing, and you can see hundreds of kilometers, and in Chittagong, along Chittagong also, the easternmost distributary may be in Chittagong, the westernmost distributary is in Kolkata. Just see the delta of Ganga and Brahmaputra, it is a massive, the largest delta in the world, Sundarbans delta, and the westernmost and the largest distributary, Hooghly river is the westernmost and the largest distributary of Ganga. Okay, it is the largest. Hooghly is the largest and the westernmost distributary. And the problem right now is these rivers, because of the silt and everything which is happening, and slowly over the years the flow is moving, the river Ganga and Brahmaputra is moving eastward. The shifting, the river is more, you can see in the east, you can see the width and the kind of that water body which is shown. You just see here huge width of the river and near Chittagong. Why? Because the river is shifting towards the east. The river is shifting towards the east, and this is a concern. So, and Hooghly river, please remember Calcutta city and the Calcutta port is located on Hooghly river, and you see this. And this is the Calcutta is a riverine port, is a port on the river, riverine. Calcutta is a riverine port. And the entry of the ships during the high tide only the ships can enter, and the depth of the water is very important. Now, what is happening is, because of the shifting of the river and because the river is moving towards the east, the water in the Hooghly is declining. The water in Hooghly is declining, and when the water level goes down, when the water is less, more and more silt, because this river is carrying so much of silt, sediments, the silt will get deposited and the depth of the river will reduce, and this is affecting the performance of the Calcutta port. So, India, see, there are two ways of removing the silt. One is dredging, removing the mud, which is called dredging. You can remove the mud by dredging, or second way of removing the silt is increase the flow of water into Hooghly. Please understand, the first thing is, and you can do, okay, and let me just reduce the size. So, the first thing what we can do is dredging. The second is increase the flow. So, if more water flow is there, sediments will not be able to settle, it will not be able to sediment, it will not get to accumulate. So, what India decided in 1970s, early 1970, was that we decided to construct a barrage called Farakka barrage on just before just before this Ganga river enters into, one second, we wanted to construct. So, once again I am just showing the river. See, this is the river flowing into Bangladesh, that Rajshahi, you can see Rajshahi, and this is how it is going. Now, the Hooghly river, the Hooghly, the distributary, Hooghly starts from here. This is Hooghly. Now, to increase the flow of water in Hooghly, we decided to construct a barrage called Farakka. And we constructed a canal, and through this canal additional water is diverted into Hooghly. So, we constructed a barrage Farakka and diverted the water, diverted the water into Hooghly, but we did not sign any agreement with Bangladesh. This was done without any agreement with Bangladesh. India unilaterally constructed the Farakka barrage, and we said anyway, distributors are going through India also, and we increase the water flow, but there is no agreement between India and Bangladesh. And now what has happened is, because of this action by India, what has happened is, now during the summer season, when there is less water, India used to divert water. During the summer season, India used to divert the water. So, the rest of the Ganga, most of the water we got diverted into Hooghly, and it was drought like situation. In the rest of the river, because the Ganga river water is diverted into India, so it is not flowing into Bangladesh, drought like situation in Bangladesh. And during the rainy season, what we did, when there is more water, we did not divert the water, we allowed the whole water to flow into Bangladesh. So, it created floods in Bangladesh. During rainy season, say we are, hum log apna kaam to karega, right. So, floods in Bangladesh. And one more point which Bangladesh was complaining was that when we diverted the water, please see again, when we diverted the water and the Ganga river is flowing without much water, see there are many distributors here, when there is no water in the Ganga river in Bangladesh side, because we diverted everything to India, the sea water started entering, because there is no water flowing into the sea. So, along the river channel, the sea water started entering into the land. Sea water entering into land. This has created this accumulation of salt in the the coastal region, and the cultivable land, this is all paddy cultivation field. This cultivable land became uncultivable because of the salt intrusion. Okay. This resulted in salt intrusion. This resulted in salt intrusion. So, the third problem was that during summer season, salt intrusion in Bangladesh because of lack of water in the river channel, because India diverted everything. So, this was the complaint by Bangladesh. Bangladesh is always complaining. And finally, when Sheikh Hasina became the Prime Minister in 1996, and in India it was the time of the H.D. Deve Gowda government, the Gujarat doctrine. It was the time of Gujarat doctrine in India, and India negotiated with Bangladesh. Bangladesh is always complaining, and we have agreed to share the water along the Farakka barrage to the satisfaction of Bangladesh. See, Bangladesh's complaint was that we constructed it without discussing with them, and the second complaint was that we were diverting and creating problems for Bangladesh. We listened to their problem. We agreed that if we have created a formula, just to have an idea, I will tell you, the formula was that if the total water availability is less than 70,000 cusecs, cubic means cubic meter per second. A 10-day average they calculated, a 10-day average, it was agreed that there will be water commission, they will be measuring the water reaching at the Farakka barrage, and if the water is less than 70,000 cusec, then it will be 50-50 sharing. And if the water is between 70,000, the previous 10 days 70,000 to 75,000 cusec, if the water available is between 70 to 75,000 cusec, then 40,000 will be with India, and the rest to Bangladesh. So, like this we have decided, we said that we will measure the water coming into Farakka barrage, because that can easily be measured, and the joint river commission will be there, having officials of Bangladesh as well as India there. They know the measurement of the last 10 days, and based on the 10-day flow, they will be releasing water on both sides during the lean season. The problem is lean season, if it is less than 70,000 cusecs, sharing 50-50, otherwise we will be, a formula was created, and finally the Farakka barrage project or other barrage issue was resolved, and Ganga water sharing problem was been resolved completely. We managed to resolve it, and to the satisfaction of Bangladesh. Right now there is no complaint about Ganga water sharing. Farakka barrage issue, India constructed it unilaterally. We settled the issue through Gujarat doctrine in 1996. Sheikh Hasina, the Prime Minister at that time, and India was led by the United Front government, the H.D. Deve Gowda government, and I.K. Gujral, the Foreign Minister at that time. Under his leadership, under his formula, we settled the matter as far as the Ganga water sharing is concerned. Okay. So, I will be stopping here.